This is the story of a 21-year-old young man who lived a difficult and lonely life. He had no family, his parents had passed away, and he worked hard each day under a strict employer. With no one to support him emotionally or financially, his daily routine was simple and repetitive. He earned a small amount of money, went home, cooked for chapatis and a little vegetable, ate, and went to sleep. Life was a constant struggle, and yet he endured it quietly, without complaint. One evening, something unusual happened. He noticed that one of his chapatis was missing. At first, he ignored it, thinking it was just a mistake. But when the same thing happened again the next night, his curiosity grew. On the third night, he caught the culprit, a large, chubby mouse sneaking into his home. But what happened next left him completely stunned. The mouse looked up at him and began to speak. "Brother." The mouse said gently, "Please don't stop me. I'm not stealing, I'm just taking my share of fate." The boy, still shocked, replied, "I barely have enough to eat myself. I make 4 chapatis a day just to survive, and yet you take one every night. Life is already hard for me." The mouse nodded understandingly and said, "I know your life is difficult. But I also know someone who can help you, Gam Buddha. He can answer your questions and guide your path." The young man paused. Though uncertain, something in the mouse's words gave him hope. For someone who had no one to turn to and no answers in life, this strange encounter felt like a calling. He decided to trust the mouse's advice, took a 5-day leave from work, and began a journey, one that would soon lead him through snow-covered mountains, magical encounters, and life-changing lessons. The 21-year-old man began his journey with a mixture of hope and uncertainty, carrying only the strange advice of a talking mouse. On the first night, while looking for shelter, he came across a large, beautiful mansion. He respectfully asked the owner if he could stay for the night. The kind man agreed and asked, "Where are you going, son?" The young man replied, "I'm going to Gam Buddha's ashram." Surprised and hopeful, the owner said, "Can you please ask him a question for me? My daughter hasn't spoken a single word in 20 years. Please ask when she will speak again." The boy promised he would. The next day, he continued his journey and reached a snow-covered mountain range. The path was treacherous, and he had no idea how to cross it. Just then, he saw a magician sitting in deep meditation. The magician opened his eyes and asked, "Where are you headed?" The boy answered honestly, and the magician said, "Please ask Gam Buddha a question for me. I've meditated here for 1,000 years but still haven't reached heaven. Ask him why." In return, he used his powers to help the boy cross the mountain safely. Further along, the boy reached a wide, flowing river. He didn't know how to get across until a giant tortoise appeared. The tortoise asked the same question, "Where are you going?" After hearing the boy's answer, the tortoise requested, "Please ask Gam Buddha when I will become a dragon. I've waited 500 years in this river." The boy agreed and crossed the river on the tortoise's back. After a long and challenging journey, the young man finally reached Gam Buddha's ashram. He joined others in quiet meditation and listened to Buddha's profound teachings. When the time came to ask questions, Buddha gently explained that he would only answer 3 questions. The boy immediately faced a difficult choice. He had come with 4 questions, 1 for himself, and 3 from those he met along the way. After careful thought, he made a selfless decision. Instead of asking his own, he chose to help others and asked the questions from the mansion owner, the magician, and the tortoise. Buddha responded, "The mansion owner's daughter will speak on the day she gets married. The magician will reach heaven if he lets go of his stick. And the tortoise will become a dragon the moment he removes his shell." Grateful yet curious, the boy began his journey home to deliver these answers. He first visited the tortoise, who, upon hearing the message, bravely shed his shell, and instantly transformed into a magnificent dragon. Before flying away, the dragon left the boy a generous gift, a pile of shimmering pearls. Next, he met the magician and told him, Buddha says you must let go of your stick." The magician smiled, handed over the stick, and ascended peacefully to heaven. Finally, the boy returned to the mansion and shared Buddha's message. Overjoyed, the owner said, "Then you shall marry my daughter." The moment they wed, the young woman spoke her first words in 20 years. Through his selflessness, the young man had unknowingly unlocked wealth, power, and love, not by seeking personal gain, but by helping others first. What began as a simple journey to seek answers turned into a life-changing lesson in selflessness and humility. The young man, who once struggled daily just to get by, found himself rewarded in extraordinary ways, not because he pursued wealth or comfort, but because he chose to put others first. Instead of asking Gam Buddha a question about his own difficult life, he gave priority to the people he met along the way, the silent daughter, the meditating magician, and the patient tortoise. Each act of kindness came back to him in ways he never expected. The tortoise, after hearing the answer from Buddha, bravely removed its shell and transformed into a dragon, leaving behind a pile of glowing pearls as a gift. The magician, having held on to his staff for 1,000 years, finally let go and ascended to heaven. But not before gifting the boy the powerful staff. And at the mansion, when the young man delivered Buddha's message, the owner offered his daughter's hand in marriage. At the wedding, she finally spoke, for the first time in 2 decades, confirming the truth of Buddha's wisdom. Through these events, the boy gained 3 great blessings: wealth, from the pearls, power, from the staff, and love, from his new wife. But more than that, he gained wisdom. He discovered that true fulfillment comes not from chasing your own desires, but from helping others with a sincere heart. His life transformed completely, not through force or ambition, but through compassion, sacrifice, and faith in doing the right thing, even when no reward is guaranteed. The story ends with a timeless message: true greatness lies in selflessness and compassion. The young man, though burdened by hardship, chose to help others instead of focusing on his own problems. As we journey through life, we come to understand that the greatest rewards often come not from chasing personal gain, but from acts of selflessness and compassion. The story of the young man who chose to help others before seeking answers for himself reminds us that kindness, even in the smallest form, has the power to change our lives in profound ways. For those in their later years, this message holds special meaning. Many have spent a lifetime giving to others, raising children, supporting communities, and offering wisdom. This story reaffirms that such sacrifices are never in vain. It also encourages us to continue embracing empathy, even now. By helping someone in need, offering encouragement, or simply listening, we continue to shape the world around us in beautiful ways. The story teaches that when we let go of selfishness and serve with sincerity, life will often bless us with unexpected joy, connection, and peace, gifts more precious than material wealth. In our golden years, we are reminded that the heart's generosity is timeless, and its impact eternal.